Okay. Is that better? Can you hear me all right? Even my mic has to play up, doesn't it? Tell you what, if anyone out there is planning on having children anytime soon, don't do it. Just don't do it. Save yourself a lot of bother, a lot of problems in your future, and don't have them. Bloody hell, it's an ongoing saga here, it really is. Anyway, I'm here. I got some VCLT. I was actually watching a movie, so yeah, I do apologise for the wait. And then something else happened with my daughter, so I had to sort that out. And yeah, just one thing after the next, one thing after another. Where's that knife? I'm going to need that. Right, so we've got a few bits and pieces here. I've got some VCLT kindly sent from Michael Elliott. A box full of stuff. I've not even opened it yet, so I'm going to open that up. I think Michael is around, so he wants to come up or what? Yeah, I wanted to 4D. I was tempted of coming up, but on Sunday I like to just turn that off. Like to listen to music, and I was shirtless because of it's quite warm. So like I was pretty comfortable in my own kind of doing my own thing. So I decided not to. But I see Rob was on there and was rather harsh with Mazzy, I thought. But there you go. It's a good show though. It was a good show. No real trouble. No trouble. Just just got a bit political towards the end. But no, it was a good show actually. It's just not always a good time for me when she does it. It's very awkward, so I don't get the chance to go up there as much as I like. Really, it's very difficult. Oh yeah, that's an ongoing thing. That's nothing new. Yeah. Yeah, Michael, how you doing? Yeah, you had a good guess. Yeah, well, yeah, that bit of that was going on, but like, nothing what we're not used to. So yeah, I mean, I just sort of give it back to him as much as well, probably not as much as he dishes it out to me and others, but there you go. I think I mentioned one thing. I said one comment to him, and he's like a dog with a bone, isn't he? Just doesn't seem to let go of anything. Bloody thing. That keeps turning itself on. Got a Steam Deck, and it just seems to come on. So how are we in the chat then? How are we doing? We've got some other bits and pieces as well. I've got some CDs to show. We've got a bit of vinyl actually. Got a bit of vinyl. Where put those there. I've had a massive vinyl cull. As you see, these shelves did have records on, but now the records are literally underneath. You can't see them. They're below. There's like a 2x4 cube section of the records. So all these cubes which had vinyl, they're all in bags and boxes at the moment. So like the records which I may have shown in past months, I've got even more. There's been even more culling since then. So yeah, this is probably, I would say, probably about half the collection is gonna go here. And I've decided to sort of keep my modern records, my 180 gram stuff, and do away with anything old. Really, it's going to be painful. It's not going to be an easy thing to do, but I've got too much stuff. There's just too much stuff. I've got a lot of CDs, as you can see, and I'm just not willing to part with them yet. I'd rather hold on to my CDs and kind of reboot my vinyl. I don't need so many records. I'm not getting the benefit of having such a, I wouldn't say large, but modest record collection, let's say. I'm not really feeling the benefit of having all those records. So I've just kept it short. And if I want to get more later on, I want to have the space to do it, you know, and go in the direction I want to go in, rather than just keep accumulating. CDs I don't have a problem with because they're small, they're compact, you can squeeze them in anywhere. So I'm not too bothered about the many CDs I have. But vinyl is a fucking pain in the ass. Unless you've got a room like Rob Walker has and others, it is a problem. It can be a problem. Yeah, just get rid. Yeah, it's just the easiest way. So I'm going to be sorting that out. I've got to get a link on the screen. 1 second. Let's copy that. Right, stick that out for who wants to come on. Yeah, I mean, I live in a small house, and I share it with 5 others as well. So, you know, I'm limited to what I can really have, and I've exceeded my my space for too long. Really, I need to, you know, give up a few things, and you know, lower it a bit, get rid of a few things, and you know, rethink. Here's Michael. How you doing, Mike?
Howdy. How am I coming in?
Yeah, loud and clear.
Yeah, I wanted to be at the other way around where my CDs were, but for some strange reason, my iPad wouldn't keep me connected. I was trying to get on in StreamYard, and my iPad were not happy with each other today for some strange reason. So I had to turn the camera back around, so I'm on my desktop. But anyway, how you doing, buddy?
Yeah, not too bad. It's been a bit mayhem with my family at the moment. Keep going in and out of hospital and just work and just stuff. Just gets in the way.
Family.
But, I was watching an end of a movie and it's I was hoping to jump on straight away, and then I had to sort something else out, so I couldn't. I was a bit late today, so maybe I should have planned the live stream for a bit later. Maybe 9 o'clock would have been better.
I jumped into the chat only about maybe 15 so minutes ago. Like I said, I had issues all of a sudden with StreamYard, so
Right. Okay.
I wasn't even sure when you came on.
I apologise for the late start. It's not always easy to plan it. When you got kids and stuff going on.
I don't think people should apologize for things that they have to do. Responsibilities that they have. This is secondary. So what you do in family.
Yeah, I have to prioritize, and I was watching a movie and it overlapped. These things happen a bit, it's not easy to time.
Well, you're here.
I'm here now. So yeah, receive your package, Michael. I haven't opened it yet. I was gonna do that shortly.
Cool.
I got some CDs. I got some 7-inch singles I picked up. I'm just going to grab the CDs. Have you picked anything up recently?
I picked up one album. I showed it earlier. I was on Stunty's stream.
All right. Yeah.
Yeah, I jumped on there. Man, he went 4 hours with it was quite a deep conversation of music.
4 hours, that's some time, isn't it?
He did not mean to go that long. He said, because just like I was telling you before on another stream, StreamYard, the free one gives you so many hours a month. And
Rob said, I've discovered about 1,000 singles in my loft.
What?
Wow.
What do you mean you just... wait a minute.
I know he has said to me that he has got a lot of singles somewhere in his loft. But yeah, that is a lot.
But I mean, was it somebody... He said, I discovered. So did he just like move into a loft and somebody left his singles?
He must have known that they were there, because I remember him saying that he's got a lot of singles somewhere in his house. Maybe that was in his loft, I guess.
Oh, I hear what you're saying. He knows that's his singles, but he's kind of touting that there's 1,000 of them. Okay.
Yeah.
That's a lot. Wow.
Yeah. He probably forgot how many he actually had, and then he actually realised after seeing them that, there's probably 1,000 there. You figure when you bury stuff away, you hide it away. You just it's out of peace, out of mind, isn't it? It's you just
yeah,
don't you?
Yeah, you forget.
You do. Sorry, just reading a few comments here, Michael. Zeb says I purchased 70% 3 to 7 years ago.
Wow.
But I still have around 400 LPs. Well, that's that's all right.
Oh no, I think that's a comfortable, and everybody has different situation.
400, 500 is that's okay.
Yeah.
But how did you feel, Zeb, after you purged a good 70% of your collection? That's a lot. That's a hell of a lot.
That is quite a bit. But congratulations. I mean, a lot of people can't do that. Sometimes you just got to give things up in the
you do. You
need the space.
You do. Yeah, you do. So you just know when it's the time to do that, don't you? You can't be told to do it. It's something you've got to discover for yourself. So yeah, question here from Zev is how long does it take to ship US to UK or reverse these days? 3 weeks? weeks.
You know, I threw that receipt away just yesterday, Simon, because I could have told you the date that I took it to the post office.
I think
But
it was 2 weeks from me to you, wasn't it? Was it 2 weeks?
was it 2 weeks?
I would say so. Yeah.
Because I mailed yours last week, so mine got to you in less than 2 weeks.
Yeah, it has done, hasn't it? Yeah.
Mine got to you in about a week.
Yeah.
Because I think, let me think, what day was that I mailed it? I think it was a Friday. I think it was not this past Friday, but the one before that. So yeah, about less than a week and a half, I think, or around a week and a half.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. Right. So that's 2 weeks more or less, isn't it?
Yeah, I mean, not bad, I guess.
3 hours and 59 minutes of stunty talking.
Oh, Rob was there. Okay, so he yeah, it was quite a conversation, man.
I discovered my brain in the garage. Rob says he put them up there in 2012. That's some time ago, wasn't it?
That's yeah, man.
Jim says Walker was spot on today. A university lecturer who celebrated that brutal murder of Anne Whitcomb still hasn't lost her job. Yeah, I know. Yeah, shocking, isn't it? Yeah, but then if you say something else on here, you get put in prison. Step up on the screen, Rob, and show us the loft. It would be an adventure.
That would be cool.
Yeah, that is bad. Yeah, it is. I mean, who would travel? What was it, 200 miles and kill a 78-year-old woman?
Oh,
I mean,
a demented person. That's who would do it.
Well, yeah. I mean,
I know
it said that he had special needs, but he was still able to get in a car and drive all the way up there.
If we want to be politically correct, okay, special needs. Well, I don't know how special those needs turned out when he created a situation like that, but
she was bludgeoned to death with a bat or a stick.
Wow. That's a shame.
That's fucking sick, isn't it? Yeah.
Anyway, moving on to brighter things. 90s Britpop and other sort oh my goodness!
Seriously, Zeb says I'm getting seriously into the band Palm. If you like good indie, prog, weirdo music, try their album Trading Basics, or the one after with the song Dog Milk. Listen to that tune. All right, okay, cool. Bear that in mind. Yeah, special needs 250 miles hit with a hammer 21 times. Was it really? Wow.
Term special needs might not apply.
Apparently, I heard that the car he got in was just kind of like this wreck of a car, which was just abandoned on someone's lawn for God knows how long, and he just climbed in it and drove 250 miles to kill somebody.
It's way too calculated and way too determined. That's
you're
driving, and that's determined.
This is the scary thing about it, because her address was put on TV. And it's basically her whole place where she lives was all signposted, and that was all put on TV apparently. So all someone had to do was basically Google Map it, and go up there, and basically you were going to find her pretty easily because it was televised. Even her front door, the house and everything was all put on TV. So it's really that which I think is probably led to this. So it's absolutely political.
That's just a tragedy.
Absolutely. You know. Oh, there you go. Anyway, moving on.
Yes.
Right. Picked up a few CD finds and a couple of eBay purchases. I'm just going to quickly whiz through. This I picked up for £1. Make me big here. I'm trying to think what charity shop it was. Oh man, can't remember what it was exactly. But I picked up the Rolling Stones singles collection, the London Years, and this 3 CD set was £1. They only charged me £1 for this, so, and it's great condition, you know, really, really good, very, very nice.
Dude, a three CD set for $1.
Yeah, I know. I thought she was going to charge me more, but you know, she just said £1. I wish I could remember where I got it from, but it's escaped me. I go to so many shops, so many charity shops, I forget.
Yeah, you know, it's been some time since I've been into our quote unquote what we call the resellers or Salvation Armies.
I believe that was RSPCA.
I gotta step into another one because I'm telling you, Simon, you come home with loads of great CD. Dude, we don't see that kind of stuff in our resellers, man. It's unbelievable what you find.
I know.
It's crazy.
But I don't know why. I
don't either.
I don't know why isn't the same over where you are. I don't get it.
I mean, you find CDs, but like there'll be tons of them. But you have to go really deep to find those little buried treasures. You come home with nothing but treasures.
Sometimes it can take a couple of weeks until I find, you know, something which, you know, I want to pick up. But I virtually, not every day, but at least maybe 2-3 times a week, I go out in certain areas and have a look around. And, you know, there's certain shops I know in my mind where I can pick up CDs like really, really cheaply. And so I check those areas out and then I branch out to more expensive ones, you know. But moving on, I picked up this Supergrass Life on Other Planets. It's one of theirs I didn't actually own until now. And that was 50p. It's still got the label on the back there. So, okay, not a bad little find. And they're cheap bargains to be had. Let's see if there is any more charity shop ones here. That was charity shop find. And this is U2 War. And this CD is like near mint condition. And that was $1.99.
I have that, and it's great.
Yeah, that was Oxfam. Got a label there, so yeah, Oxfam, and it's just lovely. Nice. You know, it's just really, really nice. It doesn't look like it's been played much at all. Probably maybe once or twice, probably, and just left alone. I think it's probably in an original pressing, so this is probably, you know, from '83.
All right.
But yeah, really lovely example, that one. Picked up this Cast single, because I'm a big fan of Cast. I pick up anything of theirs. This is a single of theirs, Live the Dream. This was 25 pence from a cheapy charity shop. I think it was called Stone Pillow. I just pick up bits and pieces in there on occasion when they have something which appeals to me. I think this came out in '98, was a bit of a hit of theirs, and I've always liked this particular single. Always liked Cast. What else do we have? Got a couple of eBay purchases. I want to bolster my Smashing Pumpkins discography on CD. So I went out and I bought their first album, Gish. This was about £5 on eBay, but it's one I kind of wanted to, complete their collection. So I have a few of theirs already, but the first one I didn't actually have. I believe that came out in '91.
I'm a big fan of their first 2-3 albums.
Yeah, there's Gish, one of the better ones. This album was recommended on the VC. I think Cam mentioned it. Cam, who has a channel, The Vinyl Narrative, I think he's called. He shows all vinyl basically, and there's one particular album he had on one of his older videos, which I kind of noted down. I managed to find on CD, because I wasn't willing to spend big on vinyl for it. I wanted to sort of hear it first, cheaply, and you can do that with CDs. This was like, I don't know, £2 off eBay, and that's We Are Scientists, with Love and Squalor. Apparently, it's a really, really good album. It was just described as basically every hit was on here is like a greatest hits. It's like a greatest hits album. And when someone says that to me, I'm always going to be, interested to hear it if it is that good. So I picked that up. I managed to pick up the Dreaming Spire's complete discography. They have 3 albums. The two of the first albums aren't too well known, not quite as much as the more recent one. So your Dreaming Spire's Searching for the Super Truth. I picked this up. I believe this is their debut. I could be mistaken. So I picked this up, and it's okay. I listened to it once or twice. It's all right. It does. It's that kind of dreamy kind of indie band. It's very apparent on these 2 albums.
Is it shoegazy?
Yeah, I guess so. Yeah, I guess it's shoegazy. Their second album, Brothers in Brooklyn, is kind of more of the same as the first. But the third album, I think this came out in November last year. Their third album, Normal Town. This is a superb album. This is great from start to finish. This is a cut above anything they've done. And I think this album it's a brilliant album. I love it. I can't stop listening to it. I actually ordered this from Bandcamp, but the CD, I was supposed to get a signed CD, but I never got it. And I was hunting around. I was looking on eBay, and there's nothing on eBay. There's nothing anywhere else. And a few weeks passed, months passed, still nothing. And then something come up quite recently on a website, a store called Truck. They actually have it. They have the album in on CD and on vinyl. So I brought myself this, and I brought myself the vinyl as well. So yeah, I highly recommend it.
I like that album cover, and it looks like something that if I came across it, I would have put.
Yeah, it looks like a typical UK town or village. It's got the roads and the signposts and that. It's just and it's got a bit of a political message in here. It's very sort of with the times. Talking about normalization and how things have changed over the years. Like everything. There's no grass anymore in the towns. It's all kind of tarmac, and it's very it's quite nostalgic, and I think it's an excellent album. So yeah.
Right. How did she put it? Tree Paradise, but they put up a parking lot.
That's the one. That's the one. What else do we have? Yeah, I went into. Where did I have? Where else I went? There's a really large charity shop quite near to me, and they're mostly known for having lots of like china and cutlery in there, and but they've also got books and stuff, and they've got quite a wide range of stuff. And they don't often have vinyl, but they had some vinyl records, some singles when I last went in there, and they're like, I would say they are in excellent condition, maybe near mint, and they're all kind of steps up to what I've originally got on 7-inch singles, mostly 80s and 70s. So I picked up Danny Wilson, Mary's Prayer. This is just a far better copy than what I've got. Mine is all kind of bent and, you know, dog-eared, but this is quite a nice, crisp example. You know, for 50p, you know, you can't really complain, can you?
When did that come out?
87.
That's what I thought.
87.
That picture of them is definitely 80s.
Record looks unplayed. It just looks to be stored away somewhere, and there's a bit of dust on there, but I'm not too concerned about that.
No, it's
a little bit clean, but yeah,
it's on Virgin.
Fantastic. Yeah, on Virgin. Yeah. Let's put that over there.
You know, another reason why you find a lot of stuff, I always forget. It's repetition. You're out there all the time, and you hit a lot of places, and you do it regularly. You're bound to at least accumulate great stuff because you do it a lot and often. So that's good.
Yeah. Some things I just think I can't really leave there. It's too good, you know.
But because you do it so often, you're catching these really great drops before a lot of the public. So when they're great drops, you're getting them before they're just pickings.
Yeah, and they soon go. Believe me, I've left stuff for maybe a day. Thought about it overnight whether I should pick it up. Changed my mind the next day and go down there and try and get them, and they go. And right. You're just better off buying them whilst you're there, you know, and maybe don't hesitate, because I have done in the past and sometimes I've regretted it. So Maria McKee, Show Me Heaven, another sort of example similar to the previous one, on just excellent condition, and record is fantastic as well on the Epic label. This came out 1990. I've got a thing about 90s vinyl. It's just anything 90s. I've got to have it, you know.
Sure, man.
Even if it's Danny Minogue. Love and Kisses. Just really, really good condition.
Mm-hmm.
Elton John.
I don't mind Chiba too.
Sacrifice, 50p. Oh, yeah. Really great condition.
That's a
lovely single of his.
Yep.
And finally, Level 42, Running in the Family. Bit of a ring web there, but I'm not too concerned about that. But this is actually one I don't have in the collection, and that's the 7-inch single. So yeah, few 80s and 90s 7-inch singles. Nothing incredible, but you know, not bad little finds. And I picked up a Dreaming Spires single on 7-inch. This was an eBay purchase. I think I paid about £8 for this. It's on Clubhouse Records, and It is the single on this one is Everything All the Time. So yeah, to my knowledge, it's on one of the first two albums. I'm not quite sure which one, but one of the first two. So there's that, and that's it for vinyl.
Nice.
Yeah. So there's a few finds. You got anything to show, Michael?
I just got one album that I picked up just recently. Like I said, I'm on a mission to deepen my library with vintage 50s, 60s, 70s sort of exotic slash early electronic slash world slash all that kind of stuff. Stuff like science fiction, theremin kind of music, Wendy Carlos. But this was something that came out in the 50s.
All right, okay.
Yeah, this is by Ferrante and Teacher. They've done. Oh, I'm sorry. Let me turn this way. They've done. They used to do several albums in the 50s, 60s, and these were really meant to be pressed high fidelity. This is back in a time when they purposely wanted to be the best at their game. So everybody who was mastering music, particularly in the 50s, this whole new high fidelity audio stereo was just coming into existence. So a lot of these pressing companies, they took pride in actually making the best quality high fidelity audio recordings they could. So that's why you find even today, some of these pressings back in the 50s and 60s, just still today blows a lot of these pressings today away. And so these guys were responsible for doing a lot of those kind of things. They did a lot of theme. A lot of their music is like theme music, and from the actually this album cover is far removed from what they normally do. But they do stuff that sounds like dreamy space music or like cocktail lounges in the future and stuff like that. Really cool stuff. But yeah, so.
Yeah, it does look nice.
Yep.
Cool. Right then, I'm going to start opening up this this box then. See what we see.
Yeah. Now, granted, there'll be many CDs in there that won't be in mint condition because a lot of those CDs were in this particular DJs. You know how they have those big books,
right?
And they just they slide them. So a lot of them were in that plastic slide-ins. So I'm sure even over time they got worn just sitting in those books because he had those books since there's a lot of stuff in there, Simon, that's like 90s and early 2000s because that's when that guy had a lot. I guess he was DJing with CDJs.
Yeah.
So when his brother gave me like 6-7 books, man, just loaded with CDs. But none of them had the sleeves because he took them all out so he could put them all in books so he can gig with it.
I had to pay was it £16 custom fee on this, Michael?
Oh, that sucks, man.
That was a bit of a kicker, but never mind.
Yeah,
that happens sometimes.
So what I did was I found some actual CD sleeves that I had from way back when I used to press my own and put out my own music. So I was able to put those in there instead of those little baggies that I was showing you. I put them in some nice little plastic sleeves for you. They're easier to store.
Happy listening, Simon. Okay. You packed it well.
Try to.
Right. Okay. There's quite a bit here, isn't there?
Oh yeah, man. I think other than the 3 from the other sources, I think I
Yeah.
got you. I got you 15 all together in the account. I think it's 15 CDs, and like I told you, one of them is a double CD. And that double CD, man, that's the one I really am curious about because some of the names of the performers sound so cool. I'm like, I wonder what this sounds like. I haven't heard anything that I sent you, man. None of that stuff.
Yeah.
I have no idea what any of that stuff sounds like.
All right. So we got Bruce Hornsby, Harbour Lights, which is the first thing I can see.
Yep, that was in the that was a part of the inheritance that I got from that guy.
Yeah. Well, we did discuss all these, didn't we? And just to make sure I didn't have anything. Joe Santorani, is that right? How's that pronounced?
Satriani, Joe Satriani.
Yeah, Crystal Planet. I do have a couple of cassettes of his, but I don't think I've got anything on CD, so this would be a first. So
Yep.
Thanks for that. I like these Memorex sleeves. They're nice, aren't
Yeah. I used to burn my own because I used to put out my own music. So
they? Yeah, I do.
and I forgot I had some. I said, I can put these in those. It'd be much easier for Simon to store.
I do have this one.
You do? You do?
That's fine.
That was a last minute because I said, I wonder, and I said, I think Simon probably has a Limp Bizkit, but maybe he doesn't have this one.
My brother brought this when it came out. Was it back in I think '98? I think this one was released.
Yeah. And
this was quite a big thing, when I was in the school back in the time, and everyone was listening to this.
I had your era. I know the kind of stuff.
Certainly my era. It's part of that. What was it called? New metal era, wasn't it?
Yeah. But I figured it'd be at least in your wheelhouse.
Yeah, certainly is. Yeah, definitely. Take a bite out of rhyme. A rock tribute to rap.
Yeah, and I have no idea like who's doing what. So interesting.
I don't know if that's a compilation or
no. From what I know, I know of it. It's either rock. I think it's rocks. It's either actual rock bands that doing famous rap songs, or it's the other way around. I can't remember. Famous rappers doing rock songs or something. It's one or the other. But I have no idea who is doing what. So a lot of it is. Oh, you're taking a look on it. Yeah, there you go.
Sorry, yeah, I was just sort of catching out with a comment. This is a major Yarnsville, Simon. What are you doing, man? I'm just going.
Wow, he's hardcore.
Wow. Thanks. Jesus Christ.
Yeah,
man. The horseflies, human fly.
That sounds way too cool, man. The horseflies. Human fly. That's gotta be dope. That's crazy. The horseflies, dude. You never heard of them?
No.
Isn't that weird?
1987.
You said 87?
87's on here, yeah.
Wow.
So it's an old CD, but well looked after by the looks of it.
Man.
But I mean, I'll stick it in my computer and it will tell me, everything I need to know.
Yeah. Like I said, it's almost like a mystery box.
It is, yeah. Neither of us are too familiar. So Mike Bloomfield live at the old Waldorf. You
familiar?
No.
Supposedly, like a blues rock. So I don't know if you're in the blues rock blues or whatever.
I do like a bit of blues. Yeah, I do. I'll probably like this.
I mean, I know that of him, but I'm not even sure if I've ever heard him before. But I know that's what I kind of, when you classify him, you know.
Right, right. Oh, yeah, that sounds good. Yeah, cool. What we got here? Collective Soul Blender.
That's pure, what, 90s, isn't it?
2000. This is
Oh,
2000.
2000, 90. Well, actually, they kind of cover. Oh, Collective Soul, that one, yeah. It covered the end of the 90s into the 2000s, I think.
Yeah, yeah. I like soul. I like soul music. So yeah, I like that. I don't know what this is. Temple of the Dog.
I've heard of them, but I can't remember what they sound like.
91.
Yeah. that's I'm telling you, it's gonna. I'm like, you're like really curious. Like, what the heck is going on here?
Yeah, there's going to be a lot of discovery here, isn't there? So,
Oh, I love it.
okay, David Bowie, Reality.
Yeah, that's a good one, man.
Is that one of his albums?
Yep.
Yeah.
It's really good.
Cool. Thanks for that. Yeah. Wow. Well, I got a lot of listening.
Yes, you do.
My Morning Jacket acoustic choral. Bonus mini acoustic concert DVD.
The one thing, this is what I can tell you about them that I know. They have a deep, deep cult following. Like, fans of these guys are like really into them. That much I do know.
Okay.
My Morning Jacket, yeah, they have a really big cult following.
Disc.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. This is very unexpected.
Oh, okay. What is Corporal? He says it's which is it? Oh, Temple of the Dog is grunge. Okay, and then it's a mix between Soundgarden. It's between
It's a mix between Soundgarden and Pearl Jam. Literally half of each band makes up Temple with the Dog. Okay. All right.
Were you into Pearl Jam or?
I don't think I've got anything on Pearl Jam in the collection, so
You're familiar with Soundgarden, right?
yeah, I know Soundgarden. Yeah. So it's probably going to be a bit heavy then, I guess.
Oh, I'm sure.
So Brad, Genza, and the Asteroids sketchbook.
Yeah, I mean, I can't even imagine what that even sounds like, dude. I think the androids. Yeah, the androids.
This looks very, very indie kind of cover and back cover.
It looks dope, man. I love that indie look. I like that kind of DIY, do it yourself. Yeah. It looks too interesting.
2005. So yeah, that sounds interesting because I think that kind of period of music, the music is rather good. So that could end up being quite a
okay.
Good album.
A little diamond in the rough there, huh?
Yeah, could well be. Ben's Fold, not Ben's Fold 5, Ben's Fold.
Well, it is Ben's Fold 5, if I'm correct, right? Didn't Ben's Fold and Ben's Fold 5 are the same?
I don't know. I know Ben's Fold 5, but I don't know this is.
I'm pretty sure that's the same thing. Because somehow I remember him being referred to in both ways. No?
All songs written by Ben Folds, so I mean, I'm guessing that's his name.
And then I guess when he's with his group, it's Ben Folds 5?
I guess so.
Because I think that's the same person.
Yeah, you're probably right. I'm not too familiar with the band names, but yeah, sounds like it.
A lot of these remaining CDs that you're saying, those are those ones that I found free in the boxes at the stores, like that Ferdinand and the Androids and Benfold. Yeah, so these are indies that I would think that you're not going to be able to find them hardly anywhere. These like these small little independent labels that just do them out.
Yeah.
And I'm sure they didn't put them out by the hundreds of thousands.
It's promotional material, isn't it?
Which is cool, dude, because they're probably, I don't know if you want to call them rare, but I bet you there's not a whole lot of them out there.
Well, there's not going to be too many of them in the UK, is there? You know,
probably hardly any, because and I think a lot of those are West Coast indie stuff too. I think My Morning Jacket might be more Midwestern, like my territory. I could be wrong, but yeah, definitely.
So the live EP, A Decade, Our Lady Peace.
Our Lady Peace, I've heard of them strongly, but I don't know if I've ever heard them. But I'm familiar with the name. So I don't know.
No idea what this is.
You and me both, pal.
recorded on May the 9th, 2006 at the Metropolis.
Oh, that's promising. 2005, 2006, maybe.
Yeah, my era, that is.
Maybe.
Yeah, could be good.
Who knows?
MVY Radio, Fresh Produce 3.
Yeah, that looks kind of interesting. I don't know quite. What were some of the? Yeah, that looks kind of interesting. I think I bet you that's kind of poppy. I bet you it might be pop in a way. What year is that again? I forgot.
I'm not seeing anything. I'll have a look at the CD.
Okay.
Let's have a look at this. No, it's not marked up.
But doesn't it look like it might be kind of? I mean, kind of bright or poppy.
Yeah, possibly.
And I don't mean that in a bad way. I mean in a good way.
Vineyards, Vines, Martha's Vineyard. I don't know. Maybe that came from a magazine, or I have no idea.
No, we have a place here in the United States actually called Martha's Vineyard.
Right.
And it was produced by that region or whatever, that area.
It's got various artists on here. Mary Chaplin Carpenter, Scott Fisher, Gregory Douglas. I don't know any of these names mean anything to you. They could be obscure. Jennifer Clark.
The first one, Martha, whatever. Yeah, I've heard of her.
Paul Turner, Hoots and the Hellmouth, Jeff Merchant. Oh, that rings a bell. Maybe not.
Sounds like a lot of solo artists. It could be acoustic, or it's hard to tell.
Now this is killer.
Oh, there you go, buddy.
There
you go. I am so happy to pass that on to you.
Evidence that it's here. Well, yeah, thanks for that, Michael, massively. So,
that's going to be. I would doubt there's very, very well. You know something? That had to have come out of the UK. So you probably got 1 million of them. You've never seen.
There isn't. I did a little research into it.
Hard to find
in the country. This was an overseas thing.
Awesome! I'm glad to give you something that's kind of rare over there.
So yeah, it's pretty rare. So yeah, limited edition DVD.
Yep.
And fantastic. I'll be ripping that to my computer.
Cool.
Very soon. So yeah.
Cool.
Yeah. So yeah, thanks very much for that. Do appreciate that.
My pleasure.
That's to one side. Indie Anthems 1, Lumberjack, Mordham's Summer Sampler. It's two CD
That's the one, dude. Look at some of the names of the artists on it. It's just crazy sounding stuff. Crazy, crazy. Oh, that I was like, do I want to give Simon? I said, do I don't think I want to keep because it just sounds so cool. Look at all.
Wow, what do we have here?
There's a ton of stuff on
There's
there.
a load of stuff on there. Yeah, I mean, one side's got 21 tracks, and the other one's got 26 tracks.
That's crazy.
Yeah, there's a. I don't. This is completely alien to me. I don't know anything on here.
It's. I don't. Do I recognize any names? I can't remember. I know that there were names on there that I'd never heard before. That I went, wow, that sounds cool.
Ted Leo and the Pharmacists, Me and Mia, Mile Marker, Food Chain, Soul Dad Brothers, Downtown, Paranoia Blues, Push to Talk, Problems, Astronautilus, Hurricane Isabel, Desert City Soundtrack, Let's Throw Knives. This I don't know, you know, this.
Dude, Let's Throw Knives. What could this sound like?
I've got no idea. No idea.
Desert City Soundtrack might be kind of like.
There's a load.
It was just too awesome, man.
Can I get it to?
And it's been sitting in my collection. Oh, it's since then I was buying all. Man, dude, in the 90s and the early 2000s, I was buying CDs like they were going out of style or grabbing those. That was in one of those boxes, man.
There you go. Focus that.
Look at that stuff.
There's the bottom few.
Butter Sprites. That's great. The Bouncing Souls. Boom Boom Kid. Genghis Tron. That's Genghis Tron. Oh my God. Atomic Bitchwax.
Yeah.
That looks so cool. So cool.
Trying to see what year this is.
I can't.
Just like, you know, this is probably. I'm guessing it's probably, you know, early 2000s.
I would assume, because that's when I was scooping all of that stuff out of those boxes, man.
Next to all the songs, though, they got their own websites. There's a website to all of these songs.
Well, that's intense.
Like the record labels and everything's noted down on there.
I bet you most of those, unless they're like Warp or Bleep Records, I bet you most of those are defunct.
Yeah, I bet so. Yeah,
it'd be interesting to see how many of those are actually still up and going.
Yeah, I'll be surprised. I mean, it's probably 20 years old or more. So where these bands are now, who knows? What became of them? Who knows?
Yeah. So yeah, I mean, you know, I know you got a lot of stuff to listen to, but as you listen to the things that I've sent you, I would love to hear your feedback because I like to know what they sound like my damn self.
I will. I'll let you know as soon as I've listened to some of it. Our CDs going up in price.
Well, they're not really, are they?
No,
I don't think they are. But they definitely are selling more CDs now than, you know, it's going up year to year.
I don't think they are, but I pop into HMV and I have a look at them, and they are quite pricey. I mean, it's quite a pricey store in HMV anyway.
But you know,
I can't justify paying maybe £15, £16 for CDs, which some of them are that price in the shop. You know, that's a lot of money I think for CDs. If you know, for some of these CDs, you can acquire them in the charity shops or online for far cheaper.
Well, you know, when CDs first came out, when they first appeared, they were expensive. They were about, as a matter of fact, they're not too much more now than they were back then because there's a whole new medium, and the different companies wanted to suck the public dry while they could. And you know, they gave false promises. They said, "Oh, CDs can never scratch, and you can rub them on this," which was a lie because they can. But
I think with buying new CDs, they don't hold their value like maybe a record does. So I think if you're going into the shop, if you're in the UK, this is, and you go into a shop like HMV, and you got 50 quid to spend, you know, and
yeah,
you're deciding whether to go CD or vinyl. Personally, I think it's better to buy vinyl because although it's more expensive to buy a vinyl record, um, the value it sustains is worth it. You know, as the CDs are cheap and cheerful as soon as they're used. You know, there's nowhere near the hold their value as records.
yeah.
So I personally go for records in their shop like HMV, but you know.
Well, see, Corporal makes my point. Okay, so he said he meant used CDs, but he also said CDs started at $12 in 1988. But that's my point. Back then, $12 is a lot of money if you count inflation.
And then they were like 12 quid in the 90s in the UK.
Yeah, so they were expensive from day one. And then went down in years as CDs saturated the audio world. They went down. Are they going up now? Once again, CDs are priced at pretty much, if you account for inflation.
I think they've gone up to meet inflation. I think whether they're technically more expensive now, probably not. Probably the same.
They're still so far cheaper to produce than albums. Far cheaper.
Oh yeah, they are. Yeah, and that's why I don't like to pay too much for them.
That's right.
I don't think the way they are made, they're made so cheaply. You can acquire them pretty easily. Yeah, there's loads of them around, isn't there, in various places.
Yeah.
I just don't, unless I really want it. I tend to hold back. I mean, I wouldn't mind completing the U2 discography. I mean, I have most of the albums on CD. There's a few of their albums I don't have on CD, but I don't want to be paying maybe 30, 40, 50 pound just to complete the CDs I need. I just pick them up over time.
Yeah.
In charity shop finds and where I can. I just can't justify doing that. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I'm always about discounts.
So if you're happy to wait, I think being patient does pay off.
Yeah.
You know?
I can be patient.
You know? So yeah, 3 more CDs, which I brought on eBay, which I sent to you, and you kindly sent them to me.
So were these from 3 different people, or a couple from one and one from the other?
3 different people, I think. Yeah. Yeah, all eBay purchases in the US. And yeah, thanks for letting me do that, Michael. That
hey, no problem.
I guess it probably saved me a bit of money.
Yeah.
So yeah, we got this CD is rare as rocking horse shit.
Really?
Yeah, it is. Yeah. This is Billy Goodrum, Weightless. He, you know, the Farrelly brothers and the movies they've made. Well, they've always had a certain selection of kind of not too well known artists have their songs on their films, and he's got quite a few of his songs on quite a few of their movies. Going back to like Something About Mary, which is what came out, I think, in the late 90s, I believe. This CD came out not too long ago. So it's taken that long since the 90s to maybe about 5 so years ago for this to come out. And that's 20 years for old material. That's mad, isn't it?
Yeah.
But yeah, basically this is his only album, I believe, and it has the songs which I've always enjoyed. So yeah. So yeah, glad to have that. I guess it's indie. I guess it's indie music. No, actually, probably alternative. Actually, thinking about it, has that alternative, more of an alternative sound. So yeah, glad to have that. And just take that off. Brett Riley's album. This is pressed on vinyl as well.
Okay.
But I'm glad to get the CD copy. He too was involved with the Farrelly Brothers movies. He's got several of his work on a few of their movies.
Cool.
And that was an album I wanted to check out, so glad to have that. And we got Brett Riley and Sons. This is a promotional single. It's rare as hell.
Yes.
Yeah, and this single featured in the movie Dumb and Dumber, and it's too much of a good thing. It's a brilliant track.
Yeah, it didn't have shrink wrap on it though when it came.
No, that's fine. And I mean, it features on the soundtrack, so if you wanted to check it out, you can just buy the Dumb and Dumber soundtrack.
Oh, Dumb and Dumber. Okay.
Yeah, it's on there, but it's only really on here. It never actually made an album. It's not on this. This came far later. So it is a standalone song.
Okay, so now I got the connection because I'm very familiar. Of course, Dumb and Dumber, classic.
Yeah. All this stuff I can get it to.
So in other words, he's got a song on the soundtrack.
Yeah, he managed to get one of his songs exclusively for the soundtrack, but it's not available anywhere else.
Gotcha.
Apart from this one-off standalone single, which there isn't many of. So.
Well, that's what OMD did. If You Leave, I mean, they eventually put it on their like greatest hits album.
Yeah.
But If You Leave was written specifically for the Breakfast Club.
I mean, they're pretty obscure albums, but if you listen to the songs, chances are you're going to know them if you watch those movies.
Right.
So yeah. Fantastic. I mean, I wouldn't have got those in the UK. So
really, okay.
No, I would not likely. So yeah, thank you, Michael.
Fantastic.
Excellent.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's it. That's everything. Yeah, slowly building up my records I'm going to show.
Oh yeah, and I noticed. I did catch a little bit when I was trying to get back on. You talked about those. Yeah, I remember. I mean, just last week you had those cupboards filled with albums, and now shoot.
Yeah.
Simon, that video that you showed that you put up a few days ago of you showing your vinyl albums.
Yeah.
Holy cow, dude!
I know there's a lot of good stuff there. There is. I know.
You got a collection, pal.
I know. I have.
Yeah, a record. You got a record fair.
It was pretty brutal. It was pretty brutal going through that.
I'm sure it was, man. I mean, I was like, holy cow.
Yeah.
You had stuff that I hadn't seen. My jaw was like.
Yeah. There's some. I mean, some of them are like cheap charity shop finds, but there's some really good stuff in there.
Yeah. I saw Morrissey.
Yeah, Morrissey.
There's all kinds of stuff. Oh, I see that.
There were some good 12-inch singles in there, the Smiths and Morrissey, and I went through them earlier to put them in like these plastic boxes, and I was like, do I pull one out and put it back in?
Oh,
Um,
oh my
but,
God.
I'm just gonna leave them
I
somewhere in
know,
the house and not think about them for the moment.
I mean, I know what you're going to do. There was a time when I had a collection that I literally sold off, but to make things even worse, I was selling them off like chunks at a time. It'd be one thing to just purge a bunch, but I was like having to go in and go, oh, what 30 or
Yeah,
40? What 30 or 40 do I want to take out here and take to the and, you
I
know,
mean,
so and
there's a lot of 20 to 30 to 50 pound records in there. Yeah, I got a Beatles Horza in there, Magical Mystery Tour.
you need just I think it's just going to be worth you just getting getting some tables or get a table, man.
That's what I was thinking. I think I got enough to warrant a fair. There's
Absolutely.
there's several boxes and there's several bags. I think that would be enough for a table.
Simon, you've got some very attractive. I mean, people are going to want that stuff.
Yeah, I think I'm gonna make quite a few sales. There is a local. It's just started fairly well this year. Actually, there's a local record fair in one of my towns, which is fairly
Yeah.
local to me, which I attended the first time it opened. I'm gonna get a table there. Try and get a table. They normally do it on a Saturday, but if I can get the day off work, I'm gonna get a stall. And if it costs me 30 odd quid or whatever, I'll pay it. And yeah, I'm pretty sure I'll get my money back for pretty easily.
Without a doubt. Without
Because the first time I was in there, it's only held in this pub, but it was packed. It was packed full of stalls and people. It was difficult to get past, people. It was heaving. And if it's anything like that, then I'm going to make a mint here.
I don't know, exactly the market there, but here, the thing that is becoming most and most sought after now is 80s vinyl.
And a lot of that is 80s stuff.
That's why I'm saying you got
Yeah.
you got stuff people really want right now. In particular, a lot of the youth. Dude, my best friend's daughter. Now he had a kid late in life, but his daughter's 12 years old, and just recently came to him and said, "Hey, Dad, you ever hear of the Cure?" And my friend goes, my eyes lit up. I immediately broke out to a big smile because that's what we grew up on.
Yeah.
12-year-old daughter. He says right now she's listening to the Cure, the Clash, and the Smiths.
And she's 12.
And she's 12, and that's
Wow. Wow.
what's in her ear right now. Yep.
That would be so uncommon over here. To ask a 12-year-old girl what you listen to, it'll be Taylor Swift and just K-pop crap basically and stuff like that. And for that kind of material, like the Cure, that's amazing. That's unheard of.
But you know what her daughter said? Her daughter said, "Dad, these are like actually songs. They're singing about something." And so she's already picked up on it. That this is music that had meaning, unlike a lot of stuff that. And I don't say all music is horrible now. I don't believe that. But a lot of the stuff that is being thrown at our youth, it's just it's non-descriptive. There's no depth to it. There's no lyrics. Songs don't have a bridge, and so even
my son constantly plays music from the 90s and 2000s, stuff I was listening to then and now, which he's heard like over and over again, like Oasis and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And I passed him. I was walking past his door, past his bedroom door, and I said to him, I think he was listening to Oasis, and I sort of poked a bit of fun at him. I said, don't you ever listen to anything of your generation? And it says, no. So I said, why? Because it's rubbish. He says, yeah, it's rubbish.
See, that it gives me so much hope because people, if you believe what they tell you, you'll believe anything. They talk about, oh, music is dying, or the youth don't, the youth are striving to have what we had. They want to have possession. They're saying that they're turning away from streaming more and more now. The youth is turning away from the digital. They want to actually have physical media again.
Yeah.
A lot of record stores here in the States will tell you sometimes they'll have days when there's more youth in the store buying than there is adults.
I think they're buying CDs as well because they're cheap. They're in the charity shops. They're going around and sourcing all the 90s stuff, Pulp, Oasis, all that kind of stuff. They're buying it up and they're getting into that era. Those 80s, 90s, 2000s.
Seriously, CDs have been on the rise the last several years too. The sales have gone up.
Yeah.
So I think I love it. I think it's great, man. Because I can still. When I was DJing last month, about 3 weeks ago, and when I was trying to throw in different genres of music, but it was great when I would put on something retro and hear these, this little small group. There was two guys and two girls, and they're just bopping to it, man. I'm like, yeah, I love it. I'm playing 80s and they're really getting off on it as much as they would if I was playing, a Taylor Swift song or whatever.
Yeah.
So I love it. I love it.
They seem to, not all of them, but the majority, I suppose, can only kind of pinpoint maybe one modern artist, but not able to sort of discover anything else other than maybe the one. So they start looking at the past and recognizing how good the music was, of the 80s, the Beatles, Elvis, and they go to like these kind of places of the greats basically, and then they start listening to all this great old music.
And the whole thing is, all you have to do is get it to them. And that's one of the big reasons why we have this 80s. Well, the 80s were already reviving before Stranger Things.
Yeah.
Stranger Things even helped to bring more of that music to young people.
It did. That whole Kate Bush single being re-released obviously made a lot more awareness, didn't it, of this great music of that era.
Yeah.
Because that charted at number 2. It wasn't a number 1 back in its day.
Right.
Only made number 1 in recent times.
I still the one with Running Up That Hill. I still have that cassette that I bought back then when it came out. I still have the cassette, that Kate Bush cassette.
Yeah, I've got the 12-inch single as well somewhere, which I pulled out.
Yeah.
I brought Hounds of Love.
That's the one.
That's second hand on vinyl, probably about 5 years ago, and it was like a very good condition LP. It was £15 back then, about 5+ years ago. It's probably a £30 record now at least.
Probably.
So in that short time, it's doubled in price. I'd say quite easily doubled in price. I'd say.
Yeah, I mean, you good music is timeless. It just is.
Yeah. There was a time on eBay, the cassette, the album Hounds of Love, was going to near the sort of $100 mark, $200 mark, even $300
for the cassette.
For the cassette,
I got the cassette. It
was going absolutely mad. It was a couple of years ago when it was like in the hype of the single being re-released and what have you. That cassette price was going off the scale, but it was only sort of in America. It wasn't so much the UK. It was about £30 to £40 cassette. I think it went up to. but in the US, it just went mad.
I'll jump online a little later.
I mean, it's probably gone down since then because the hype is, obviously.
Yeah. But how much did it come down? Because even if it came down by half, $50 is still a lot.
But I believe there were sellers selling it for $200, $300.
Holy cow!
That was just it just blew my mind, and people were buying it as well.
There's something about nostalgia. People want to own the past if they can. That's one of the major obsessions with the Beatles. People are trying to hold on to the past, so they keep that thing alive.
All they can do is reboot their stuff they've already done. There's no new material, is there? There's nothing apart from the odd single which they've created.
Right. But it keeps going. I mean, it has tailed off though. The popularity of Beatles has tailed off. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. I noticed that. It's not as much in the overall lexicon as much as it used to be. But just like I'll tell you what really tailed off is Elvis. Now people talk about and they tout, Elvis is the king and all that stuff like that. But here in the United States, when you look at Elvis, they used to celebrate Elvis to the point where every year it was this big, huge national thing to go to Graceland to celebrate Elvis Presley's, was it death or birth, whatever. So every year around the time of his birthday or whatever, there was always this big, huge exodus to everybody said, let's go to Graceland, let's go to Graceland, let's go to Graceland. Every year. But now, when it comes around, you don't hear anything. There's no coverage of Graceland and the exodus to go there on an annual basis. You don't even hear it anymore.
No.
Doesn't mean people don't still have a deep, love for them, but that kind of high level profile has diminished quite a bit over time.
I had a friend in school who was called Elvis. Their parents called him Elvis. I think the father was an avid Elvis fan. They decided to name their kid Elvis.
I'm sure a lot of people name their kid Elvis.
I think out of Elvis and the Beatles, I think the Beatles generate more interest, don't they, regarding young people?
Yes.
Yeah.
You're right. Sam, you make a good point there. You hear more young people talk about the Beatles than they talk about Elvis.
Yeah, they do.
You're right. You're right.
But I mean, he would get mentioned, wouldn't he? It'd be in the conversation, obviously. Elvis would certainly be up there. But I think when it comes to the two, it'll be the Beatles is the one they're going to be revisiting, and discovering their material and their albums.
I'm pretty sure a kid like 15 years old, if he walks into a record store, I'm sure he'll go to the Beatles band way before he'll go to Elvis.
Yeah.
If
they start researching the Beatles and say, well, where did the Beatles get their influence from? They're going to realise, it was Elvis Presley. So they're going to go over there, aren't they? Because that's
eventually
how they became to be, through Elvis, inspired by Elvis Presley's music.
But before they go there, now they're already into the Beatles. But what's going to happen? Oh, let me check out Lennon's solo stuff. Let me check out McCartney's solo stuff. Let me check out their stuff. And
it ends up going to either their solo stuff or other great bands like the Beatles So it would be like Queen or the Rolling Stones. So they start branching out to all these different bands and things, which came out sort of like after the Beatles,
Right.
you know, or they go right back to Elvis. It's, you know,
It's called going full circle.
yeah, yeah, yeah. The Beatles, the solo stuff is really, you know, it's good as well, you know.
Oh yeah, I mean, listen, I actually like the earlier Beatles more than I like when they got. I mean, don't get me wrong. I'm into the all mind expansive stuff and everything, but I find that kind of stuff I find more appealing with other bands like Mahavishnu Orchestra or Return to Forever when it comes to going way out there in the head.
Yeah, yeah.
I prefer the I Want to Hold Your Hand Beatles more. I'm telling,
I like their early album. I
I
really like their first album.
I like their like 63 to 65 more than anything, more than their later stuff. To be honest with you, the stuff they were doing in the Batcave, I dug more.
Yeah.
Whatever they called it, the cave.
Mm.
So but I mean, I really I dug the movie. One of my favorite movies as a kid growing up was Yellow Submarine. I with the Blue Meanies and all that stuff. But I was into art and I was a big Peter Max fan. So when they said, "Hey, Peter Max is doing a full animated Beatles movie," I went, "What? That's gonna be crazy!" So I really did Yellow Submarine.
Nostalgia is where hope goes when there's nowhere left to turn to.
Well, it's comforting. It can be a space of comfort for people.
Yeah, I think it is. It takes you back to a place, you know, where you were when you maybe living with your parents or something like that.
When you had less responsibilities.
Less responsibilities. Yeah, yeah. That's true. I think we all crave that, don't we? You know, one way or another.
Well, I'm kind of resting easy. You got a little ways to go, pal.
Yeah,
Before you can totally kick your feet up, but you'll get there. You'll get there in time. In time.
yeah, yeah. I mean, I'm still discovering old music. You know, even at 41 years old, I'm still going into the past and discovering things for the first time. Because like, you know, okay, for me, it's probably a 50-year catch up. You know, before I was born, thing, you know, and that's not to be taken lightly. You know, that's still 50 bloody years. It's still a chunk of it. It's half a century for crying out loud of great music of that period. So, but
Well,
like kids of today, it's like 70 years, isn't it? So it's like an even bigger gap.
but what kills me, man, is that I still to this day hear music back that was in the 80s or the 70s that I had never heard before, and went, I can't believe I never heard this before. I like just recently I discovered this electronic musician out of Japan, and I'm like, this stuff is fantastic. And to
Yeah,
my ears, it's like this stuff is just as good as Kraftwerk or Yellow Magic Orchestra. And this guy was producing this stuff in the early 80s. Why haven't I ever heard of this guy?
yeah, yeah.
And this is just recent. So that just tells you
Don't
how how
don't you think to yourself, Michael? Why didn't I discover this 20 years ago? You know,
what 40 years ago.
40 years ago.
It's
Yeah.
crazy.
Do you think to yourself that if you would discover it years ago, you probably would have liked it even more? You probably would have appreciated it even more.
Oh, I don't even think about that. Just the fact that I found it at all. I mean,
Mm.
I'm just fine with finding it. You know what I mean? Just finding it is enough. Because because it's just crazy to me because it's in a genre that I really like, but in conversation, nobody ever brings this guy up. And then I discover I'm going, this guy is great. How come nobody knows him? Or if they do know about him, nobody really talks about him in the same context as they would talk about the great electronic musicians. I'm like, but I appreciate the fact that I'm finding something from the past, but it's still sounding new and fresh to me today, which is awesome.
I mean, I discovered Tom Petty and the Heartbreakers probably 10 or so years ago now. But their greatest hits album came out all the way back in '93. And I was a kid in '93. And so I think if I had picked that up in around that time, I would have loved it and played the shit out of the album, out of the CD. If it was a cassette, I would have played it to death. I would have enjoyed it so much, But I'm thankful I later discovered it. But
well, I think a lot of people's love for Tom Petty goes a heck of a lot deeper than mine. But Damn the Torpedoes, what I played the crap out of that album, man. I love Damn the Torpedoes when it came out. And it was really huge. It was really big here. That album was really big.
Full Moon Fever is a big go-to for people as well.
Okay. Yeah, I didn't follow him much. Well, Damn the Torpedoes, I'm trying to remember what the second album was. I'm pretty sure I got the second album too. And then I just kind of, I take that, I'm sorry. I am so wrong. I take that back. I was into Tom Petty too because I dug when he was doing that real, like, don't come around here no more. So I really dug, a lot of him going into the 80s. But I would have to say that I stopped really following him or really listening to him after like the 80s. Like in the 90s, I really wasn't listening to Tom Petty.
Yeah.
But the stuff in the 80s, I really dug a lot. I was really into him.
Well, he kind of went a bit down, and like I think just towards the late 80s when Full Moon Fever came out, he was like back. He was really on top form. But but I mean they all do that. They all kind of go up and down, don't they? As they pass through the decades.
But see, some people, Tom Petty never lost it, and they've been with him every step of the way until he passed away.
Yeah, he has been.
I mean, some people, hey, I've been to see Tom Petty 35 times, so or whatever,
Yeah.
But I did, like I said, Break Down. What a great song, and that damn the Torpedoes. I'm pretty sure I got the cassette still here. I'm sure I do. I mean, I actually got another CD of Tom Petty. I forgot which one it is.
Do you have all the albums?
Oh no, I'm not that big a fan. Like I said, the first one I played to death. I really love that one, and I think the second one I have. I can't remember what the name of the second one, but yeah, like I said, but I did like some of the stuff that he did come out with, even when I wasn't purchasing him. But like I said, once we got into the 90s and beyond, I just really didn't even follow him at all. I mean, I knew when he was coming out, and I knew the stuff that he was putting out. I just wasn't a follower.
No.
Yeah.
Echo is worth picking up. If you find Echo on CD.
Okay.
Yeah, it's a good underrated album that is, I think. It's one of my favorites of his actually. Some good songs on there.
You have a lot of him, don't you? I know you're
I've got all of his albums.
You got them all. Huge.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah, he's got a following. He's always had a very loyal fan base. That's one thing. He's
yeah.
always had a loyal fan base.
I've virtually got or everything he's got on vinyl apart from the "She's the One" soundtrack. I don't have that on vinyl, but everything else I do. I think I have every 7-inch single he's done on vinyl, of course.
And that was back then. Don't come
Uh-huh.
around here no more. That was a groundbreaking video. That video is pretty cool.
Yeah,
The
it was,
Alice in Wonderland kind of thing.
he was very much part of the MTV era, wasn't he?
Oh
You know,
yeah, yeah. And this is he did some very creative videos.
yeah, yeah. Well, that was the new media, wasn't it? The video. Yeah,
Yeah, but not everybody did
it's
it.
very important, certainly in the States.
Yeah, but not everybody did good ones. Like some people look back at the videos they did and they're incredibly embarrassed. And then
Yeah,
some
because
people,
it's now a visual thing, isn't it? It's not so
yeah,
much the music; it's the visual element as well.
it's
It-
dated,
it-
dated. You know,
yeah, some of it is.
some
Yeah,
of it, and
yeah,
some of it still looks good today. You look back at certain artists and like, hey, it still look kind of cool back then. You know.
yeah, yeah, yeah. Some of them got away with it, some of them didn't. Yeah, but
That's
I'd say Tom Petty, he got away with it. I don't think his music looks dated. I don't think. Maybe some of the 80s stuff is a bit synth, or maybe in certain times, but
but
I think his music videos certainly hold up.
the reason why Petty stands up is because he's a good musician
Yeah, he is.
and a good writer. I
He's a
mean,
good writer. One of the he's a great songwriter.
I don't have to be all that deep into any one artist not to know whether or not they're good at what they do. I don't have to like them, or I can love them or not like them, but still have respect for their craftsmanship.
He knew how to make the music video. He or his team around him
Yeah.
mastered it. That they could pull it off. And
And
he
that wasn't an easy thing to do because once
no, he
again,
wouldn't have been.
yeah, I mean, it's like anything else. If you're not an artist, it's not going to look good.
Yeah, I mean you gotta. There's got to be a lot of thought and a lot of production to put those videos together and have it done in a way you want it to be, and it
I,
can cause a lot of problems, I can imagine, on the band. If there's a disagreement or you know
it depends on how much they put into it. Because, like, there are some bands or artists that'll tell you off the bat, we have nothing to do with the video. They just tell us to show up and dress up and stuff and do things.
yeah.
And then
I
some
don't think Petty was like that though, was he?
Patton wasn't like that, but like the band Ultravox, from the very beginning, they said we're going to film our own videos.
Hmm.
And then like Duran Duran took it, a lot more seriously. But then you got bands like, and here's one of my favorite groups of all time, and he came out with some of the greatest music in history. Is Daryl Hall and John Oates. Take a look at their videos throughout most of the '80s, and they are cringeworthy. They are horrible. The music is great, but the videos are really schlocky. They're so bad. I mean, there's a few good ones,
Yeah.
but man, they were subject to the '80s, and their stuff looks so dated. The outfits that they were wearing, it looks bad. But the music was great. But nobody knew back then. It was
No,
new.
it was just getting away with it at the time. It's just to
Yeah.
be relevant at the time mattered. The longevity there wasn't in mind, was it? It was, you know,
Billy
just
Squire. Billy Squire never knew what hit him
yeah. He talk about an artist who just like rised up and just went straight down
because of the video.
because of the video. Yeah, yeah,
Because of the video.
yeah.
And for some strange reason, he got slammed harder than just about anybody I can remember. I mean, he really got slammed for that.
What was the reason? I remember there's something
Because
happened. I can't remember what it was now.
well,
It
here it
might
is.
be.
Well,
It
here
might
it
be.
is.
Let me just get a drink first. Let me just get a drink, and I'll be with you.
All right, go ahead. I need to get some more water. Hold on. Actually, I could use some milk. Oh shoot! Now I know I need to get some cookies. I got milk. I need cookies. And the term "video killed the radio star," and it is 100% true.
Right. Bear with me 1 minute. Quick swig of this. Yeah. Right. Okay. B Squire.
Yeah.
The Killer album.
Yeah.
In the Dark. Belter of a track. Absolute belter. Not a bad album. Not a bad album at all.
Well, I think that album had like 5 hits on it, man. It was crazy.
Does it many as 5? I didn't realise that.
Okay, In the Dark, Stroke was
Stroke, yes.
Was huge, that song. Go ahead, name them. Keep going.
My Kind of Lover.
Big.
You Know What I Like. 2 Days Gone. Lonely as the Night.
Big.
What Do You Want From Me? Nobody Knows. I Need You. And Don't Say No.
There are
1981.
There are 4 bangers on that album. I mean, absolute bangers. Now, it doesn't mean the other songs weren't. Those 4 were huge.
All so right. I believe that there was no problem with the music videos on that album, was there? It was the album which came out after it, right?
What year did it come out?
81.
There you go. When they talk about video killing the radio star, that's one of your perfect examples. Okay, here's the deal. Before there was any visual representation of that album, there was the album. And that album was massive.
Yeah.
I mean, people don't really understand how big that album really was.
I didn't know anything about that album until I became a part member of the vinyl community, and I believe it was Melinda Murphy brought it up, recommended it, and I thought, okay, I'll check it out. I knew nothing about it.
He was at the top of the world for about a year. When that doggone, so when you're coming off with this power and this strength, because those songs are hard at you, man.
Yeah, they are.
Stroke, man.
And the riffs from the first track.
There's a lot of testosterone in that album.
There is. There.
So now let's look at the video. He's got a pink sweater on, and he's tearing it off, and he's dancing on the bed. Don't look good.
No. So it was just a segment then, a segment of. Oh, it was the whole video. It's the whole video.
Hey man, that's the time. It was the times. It was the times. And that's what I was saying earlier. It's some artists or bands took pride in like, no, we're going to control the way we look, or the representation of this particular song we're singing. Some artists left it up to others to be the creative force, and they just showed up and said, "What do you want me to do?"
Yeah, yeah.
And unfortunately, Billy Squire just said, "What do you want me to do?"
But why wouldn't he? Because a lot of them do that. I think it's a case of that and the follow-up album just being not up to scratch as that album.
No, because
it's a combination of the two.
Well,
but I think people came in thinking, yeah, we want more of that first album. We want more, and they see this kind of lame video, and they're like,
didn't he have a hit or two off of the second album?
I think he did. Did.
Wait a minute. Let me go on the net here, because
I don't think it was a full flop, but obviously enough to, end his career.
Well, it is. But you know something? Even though he lost the momentum, Billy Squire is still he does concerts even today. Not that long ago, Billy, I know he did a show. So even though he wasn't at the top, he didn't like leave music altogether.
No.
All right, let me. Studio albums. Here we go. Emotions in Motion had big songs. Yeah, I think that had some big songs. If I remember correctly, that was in 1982. Like I was saying, he really never stopped, man. He had albums out 86, 89, 91, 93, 98.
Yeah.
So he went well into the
he was still going there.
He was still producing stuff, but he could never recover.
No.
Because none of this stuff, man, really, that's crazy, man. That's crazy. That's a lot of work. But he's a true lover of the music. At least he didn't leave it. That shows that.
I think the music video probably did hurt him.
Oh yeah, it hurt a lot of bands, Simon. You don't know how many bands were devastated by these music videos that hurt them a lot.
Well, there still would have been radio, there would be the normal way of listening without the whole visual music video.
Yeah.
As people could have bypassed it, a lot of people might not necessarily have to watch it,
But see, now people don't even really care as much. Well, I think they're coming back around too, because I'm seeing more and more videos being a lot more artistically done. But we went through that period where like a lot of the youth coming into the digital age were just more concerned about a couple of minutes of the music and go on to the next one, then the next one, and the next one. Could care less about anything visual.
No. And I can guarantee like the music he plays in his concerts now, it's going to be off that first album. That people are want to hear those hits, aren't they? And he's more inclined to do that than the later stuff.
Or even if he does the later stuff, there's going to be like 4 of his biggest songs that he's going to spread out throughout the night that are definitely have to be played.
Yeah.
And if you got 4 big songs, I mean really big songs, you can do a show. As long even if the people aren't that crazy about the stuff in between, if you give them 4 huge retro nostalgic bangers, you can go. I'll start with a banger, then I'll do four songs from my discography, and then I'll do another
Yeah.
banger, another four
Yeah.
songs, another banger, another four. Before you know it, you've done about 30 songs, hour and a half. Boom.
Yeah. You end up doing maybe one or two of each album, but you obviously want to cover your big four from that first album, don't you? So that's going to be spread out.
Yeah,
Probably,
you got to spread. Yeah, there's nothing
yeah.
you can do.
Mm.
But and then who knows, man? You can go to a Billy Squier concert and you're gonna find people. Oh no, I love the second. No, the eighth album was better than the first. I'm the only one who loved this eighth album more than the first album. Somebody out there loves everything. You know, you're gonna find that.
I can't quite believe that, but yeah, maybe you're all right. Maybe there is some
You
diehard fan who's going to argue that one of his lesser albums is just as good as
yes.
anything else he's done.
Yeah. Nobody ever talked about the eighth album. It was great.
I can get that with the Beatles because they got a lot of great albums, but Billy Squier, I'm not quite so convinced. But yeah, there you go.
Unbelievable. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, well, he is the prime example, I suppose. I mean, it must be others who have suffered because of the music video.
Countless. Well, I mean, was it? But see, the thing about it is, sometimes it's about you're in the wrong place at the wrong time. Because, like, look at like Milli Vanilli got absolutely trashed for not actually singing the songs.
Yeah.
Which is crazy because all throughout the 60s and the 70s, if you look at Ed Sullivan, American Bandstand, all of those shows that had Soul Train, all of those shows that had the stars on singing, all that stuff was lip sync. There were very few. There were some exceptions. Like there were some artists that came in saying, "No, I will not lip sync." But for the most part, Simon, it was normal, and people knew everybody was lip syncing.
I think if you were around like Tom Petty was before MTV was a thing, then you've got a bit of a chance there, haven't you? You're a bit more established. You've got that edge over anybody else that emerges later.
But it was common. It
was when was MTV relevant? When was it? What, early 80s?
81. 82 was when MTV started.
Right. Okay. So
I believe it was 82.
So Billy Squier, that first album was 81. So he had a year basically from that album to his second album, which would have been in MTV video, which isn't really a lot of time, is it? Yes, it's it's very short amount of time there, isn't there? And Milli Vanilli were more sort of mid 80s, so MTV would have been up and running and extremely popular. So those sort of ones literally had sort of like emerged during the MTV era.
It was 81.
81.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. Video killed the dude, I'm telling you. Unfortunately, wrong place at the wrong time.
So he was there just at the start then, wasn't he?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. People were playing.
Yeah.
They weren't playing around. But see, there were all kinds of wacky videos but see, stuff like fish heads, roly-poly fish heads. You ever see that video for fish heads? It is the it's the weirdest video ever, Simon. It's one of the first videos that MTV played. It was by I forgot the name of the band, but the song was called Fish Heads. And the video is absolutely ludicrous. But it was huge on MTV back then, and they played it all the time. Billy Squier comes out, dances on a bed, and tears his pink T-shirt off, and his career goes belly up. Who knows? You know, it's crazy.
I didn't watch any MTV because it wasn't really a thing over here until maybe like the 90s. You know, people start to get Sky and have MTV, but only select fewer people really had that luxury. So I started watching music videos probably in the late 90s, and that was through watching Beavis and Butthead, which was aired on Channel 4 at something like 3 or 4 o'clock in the morning. And I literally had to stick a cassette tape in the video machine, video plus it, I had to punch in a load of numbers so it would automatically record the show, because I would have been asleep at that time, being a kid. So I wake up the next day, with this episode of Beavis and Butthead, hopefully on a cassette, and I got to see a lot of these sort of 80s videos then, and even through the video, Beavis and Butthead are trolling it all the time, and sort of taking the piss out of them.
But you got MTV Europe in the 90s.
I know, but
MTV
you would have to have Sky to have MTV over in the UK.
Oh.
You wouldn't be able to get it otherwise.
No, but what I'm saying is they eventually made there was an MTV in the United States, but eventually you had an MTV Europe. So you had MTV in Europe.
I've never heard of it, ever.
Oh yeah, dude. There was a time when MTV was just US, and then they had something called MTV2. They had different offshoot channels. There was a channel called VH1 that started on MTV and spawned off and had its own channel called VH1, which is a whole different video channel, but it was a derivative of MTV. Then MTV started doing stuff in Europe, so they created a whole MTV Europe.
I did not know this.
Yep.
The only way I thought, to my knowledge of acquiring MTV in the UK in the early 90s, would be to have Sky, and that was the only way you could get around it.
That was the only way you could actually see it. Okay, so there was an MTV version. There was a version of MTV Europe, but you still have to have Sky in order to see it.
I believe so. Yeah.
I got
you need a Sky package and pay for that monthly subscription, which would have been quite pricey back then. Not a lot of people had them.
No, that's true, because when MTV first came out, it wasn't like everybody could get it. It was on cable. It was cable.
For me, I think, for us UKers, MTV kind of started then, because that was the only kind of time, like I said, you could actually watch it. As you guys in the US had perhaps 10 years of it already.
Yeah, that's a lot.
That's all the 80s. That's all that Madonna and all that great stuff was only really kind of available to the UK. I would say possibly 89, 1990 and onward.
Wait a minute, are you telling me there were no people in the UK that could have seen MTV in the 80s?
Yeah, I would have thought so. Yeah, a majority of it, yeah.
Could not see it or could?
Could not see it. I'll have to research it to finalize it. I believe that's correct.
I don't think about that, because we're looking at all these great new wave British bands for years before you guys could see your own bands.
Yeah, I know. Yeah.
That's crazy.
I know.
Wow, I never thought about that.
Yeah.
A whole decade, we're looking at your bands that you guys, a lot of you guys, because it's cable and because can't even see, but we're seeing them. That is crazy.
I know. Yeah.
I never thought about it like that. So that's 10 years enough.
And I mean, maybe when it was available, not many people could afford to have it anyway.
But it's understandable how the impact would be different with you guys than it would be with us, because we saw the impact immediately. You guys saw the aftermath of the impact.
Yeah. We got maybe 10 years. Well, so you had 10 years into it. We got from there on in. So we were sort of like catching up with a lot of stuff.
Well, I tell you, man, God bless the UK, because I just got absorbed in all of that, all of the stuff coming out of the UK, man. I saw these videos. I'm going, I gotta check this band out. I gotta check this band out. This band is cool. This band looks cool. I mean, just everything.
You had it all there, on your doorstep. As this. Well, this wasn't a thing in the UK, I don't think, until several years later.
Adam and the Ants, the Specials, Madness, the Smiths, the Cure. Oh, we were crazy over the Cure, man. Just absolutely nuts. I'd go over to my buddies. My buddy was going to U of M, University of Michigan. He had a dorm back in the '80s, man. And I remember, I used to visit him in Ann Arbor, and hey, man, I got the new Cure album. He pull it up, or no, even more. He says, man, have you seen the new Cure video? I go, no. And man, the Cure used to have this one video he used to play on MTV that's just so kick ass. But I just remember distinctly how much we used to dig the videos coming out of Europe, like from the Cure and DAF and OMD and all of those guys, and it inspired us like you wouldn't believe, man. I pride myself on not necessarily following trends, but if a trend is really cool, it's hard for me to resist not being a part of it. Let me tell you something, Simon. When classic rock was big, I was big into classic rock. When it went into punk, I was big on punk. Let me put it. When it's classic rock, I was big classic rock. When it went into rock, jazz, prog, fusion, I was there. Punk, I went to punk clubs. I was a punk for a while. New romantic, I was new romantic. I did that too, man. There are certain genres I didn't fall over into, but punk, ska, I would get on my little stingy brim, my black and white polka dot or check tie. Me and my friends go out. Did it all, man. Did it all. Loved it all. Loved it all. But a lot of it was Europe.
Quite a eclectic taste, haven't you?
Oh yeah, but a lot of it was because of stuff outside of the United States that I got influenced by.
What would be your genre now that you listen to? If you could put it down to one, what would it be?
Electronic.
Yeah.
Which still falls into. I mean, I'm ambient as well. Kind of abstract, kind of music, but it would be basically. I put myself into the electronic / ambient or ambient / electronic, right now. That. As far as what I most enjoy, and as far as some of the stuff, I DJ almost anything. I DJ classic rock. I DJ 80s new wave. I can do just about anything when it comes to DJing, except I'm limited on country. I'm not a big modern. I hate modern country. Old country, like Willie Nelson's cool with me.
It's back in a biggish way, isn't it, country?
It's what now?
It's back in a big way, isn't it, country? It's quite popular.
Problem with country today is it's really more pop. It's not even really country to me. It sounds more like pop. It sounds, it doesn't have the same kind of depth and real guts that something like a Johnny Cash had, or those guys back in the day. I much prefer old country if I'm going to listen to it. My parents, they're from Virginia. They listen to country. So, when I was born, and even living up here, my parents were living, listening to uh, what's his name? Doggone it. Oh, it won't come to my head. I can't think of his name. Big country star, black guy. He was huge. Charlie Pride. Charlie Pride. I grew up hearing them. Louis, what's his name? Ray Charles has one particular album. He does all country. Man, it's awesome, awesome. But yeah, just about every genre of music I'm into. But I'm not a huge fan of country, and I've never been a really big fan of hip hop. It's one of those things where I kind of pluck from hip hop.
Yeah, I like.
I can't embrace it all. I pluck from it. Yeah.
Is hip hop fall under rap, or is it two different?
Two different things.
Two different things.
There was rap before there was, well, at least the term hip hop. There was rap before there was hip hop.
Right. I mean, I couldn't tell you what the differences are from rap to hip hop. I don't know.
Well, a lot of that stuff started to fuse, overlap over time.
Yeah.
But now they're saying that, hip hop is not what it used to be. One of the things that they found is that over the last few years, there hasn't been everything at the top of the charts. Hip hop hasn't been showing up in the top of the charts now, as like it used to be.
I don't think it's something that some of it is okay, but I don't think it's a genre that ages too well. Am I wrong?
Well, I think my problem with not all hip hop, because hip hop has spawned off into so many styles, so it's hard to really almost classify hip hop anymore. Because there's some hip hop inspired stuff that I really like you wouldn't necessarily call it hip hop. But like things like trip hop, like some of the stuff Tricky does, I dig that kind of stuff. Or help me out. Portishead, yeah, I really dig that kind of stuff. But the problem with a lot of a certain segment of hip hop is that they're singing about like the drinks, or I mean, there's no like real substance to what they're singing. It's all about having material stuff.
Yeah.
Or so and so's having a beef with somebody else. I'm like, I could care less if you're having a. Why do I want to spend money listening to you have a beef with somebody?
Yeah, it's the usual sex, drugs, and money, and
it's boring. I find it boring.
But that seems to be in not just that hip hop. It's kind of another genres as well, isn't it? It's a modern trend, which
rap was built on it,
and it works for rap, But
yeah. I mean, it's misogynistic music. That's what it's supposed to be.
Yeah.
But I mean, what you expect? It wouldn't be rap if it wasn't misogynistic. I didn't say it was good. I didn't say it was right. But it wouldn't be rap if it wasn't.
But it seems to have leaked on to other, almost pop music now, where it's so it's the swearing, and you know what I mean. It's just too much. I think it's not nice to listen to, where it's so explicit. It's just
Well, I'm hearing less of it. I don't hear a whole lot of more modern bands coming out or groups coming out that rap. Do you like who? Okay, like right now, can you name? And I'm not talking about your nostalgic old school acts because they're still out there doing making money. Here in the United States, all of the old school rap guys are doing shows. Although everybody's getting hit with blue dot fever, which means people aren't showing up because they don't want to pay high prices for these shows, so they're being canceled left and right. But hip hop is has kind of lulled a bit. Hey, there's Spring Hill.
Where's we come? It's just a blast from the past.
Hey, Richard's here. I'm sorry, I didn't get a chance. I wasn't even looking over at the chat. Hey, Richard. Oh, oh, 4D man's in the house. Of course, Corporal. Corporal was hanging out. Yeah, man. But you know, I don't know if I said this earlier, if I said this over at Stunty's stream. I was saying that one of my oldest friends, you know, I've known him when we met. I was 15, he was 12. But anyway, even to this day, and he had kids late in life. So he's got a 12-year-old daughter, and his 12-year-old daughter came to him one day and he goes, "Hey, Dad, have you ever heard of The Cure?" 12 years old, 12-year-old daughter, man. And my buddy got real proud and smiled. He said, "Yes, yes, yes, young lady. Yes,
Well,
I
I
know."
think it certainly helped that they had an album out in the last, was it a couple of years it was released? I think the awareness of the Cure would have been, will be there, won't it?
Not for a 12-year-old kid. That's pretty cool.
Maybe not. Maybe not.
So, but right now he told me the three bands that is in her ear right now: The Cure, The Clash, and The Cure, The Clash. What's the third band? The Smiths. 12 years old, dude.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
isn't that awesome? That's awesome.
That is awesome. Yeah, that is awesome. Great
He's a,
team.
because like I was telling you, man, he's the guy. Like I was telling you, we had, you know, he was at U of M, and we used to look at all the Cure videos. So he's a real proud dad that his own daughter's like getting into the stuff that he grew up loving. So you know, hey, listen, yeah, I'm telling you, man, you can say anything you want about us boomers. We grew up in the best.
I read somewhere that the Oasis album, What's the Story, Morning Glory, has now sold more copies than Sergeant Pepper has.
How that is possible, I don't even know. That's insane, man.
Mm.
That is absolutely insane.
Yeah, and I suppose in some ways, maybe considered a more relevant album than actual Sergeant Pepper album. You know, no, because we're a younger generation that can relate, that know Oasis and know that album. You know, wouldn't necessarily know Sergeant Pepper.
Well, no, but I would put the brakes on a bit there, Simon, as far as the relevancy goes. I don't know about that.
I think for people who know music, yes, Sergeant Pepper would be the album of the two. But for people maybe not quite so aware of music, you know, I could see maybe that album kind of
I mean,
it
it would
being on
have
people's minds more than Sergeant Pepper. You know.
well, it would have to be an influence on somebody, you know, uh, because if you have that many albums sold, then it is, of course, in the zeitgeist, and
Yeah.
so it's gonna influence somebody, you
Yeah.
know.
Yeah.
But and time has gone by to the point where they'll never be able to do it. They'll never ever catch the Beatles, the degree, even though the Beatles weren't together a long time, they produced a lot of stuff, and they produced stuff that is so written into the granite. Uh, uh, Oasis spent too much time away and arguing and not getting enough out there. They'll never reach the iconic. Uh,
I,
high,
I think
they'll never
also
come.
I think Sergeant Pepper isn't considered the Beatles' greatest album anymore. I think it used to be. You know, looking at Rolling Stones magazine, you know, it would be, you know, certainly, you know, up there. But now, you
Well,
know,
there are a lot of people that never thought it was. A lot of people will tell you they think Abbey Road is.
I think it's Abbey Road now. I think people say Abbey Road is the
Yeah.
great. And I think it's kind of overtaken Sergeant Pepper now. I think people tend to go for that album more than Sergeant Pepper. That as of maybe 20 years ago, Sergeant Pepper was still their best album. You know, I personally think it is because the psychedelicness on that album and how it was all put together and everything. I think it's the album is top, but you know, I think now people think Abbey Road is the better album.
How many albums has Oasis produced?
I think it's 7. I think it's 7 albums.
Wow, I'm really surprised. It always seemed like they could never get along. I can't even believe they produced 7. Really? I thought it was like 3 or 4.
No, it's more than that.
They actually got 7 produced as much as they fought? Wow. I'm surprised.
Yeah, Dig Out Your Soul was the last one, which came out in 2009, I think.
I am shocked. I thought they were one of those bands who, you know, they got acclaim but didn't come out with much. I am shocked. I thought like
it's 7. I'm right.
Wow.
So you got the Definitely Maybe. The debut came out in 94. What's the Story? Morning Glory 95. Be Here Now came out 97. That's still a huge album. That third one. The fourth album, Standing on the Shoulders of Giants, came out in 2000. That was kind of on a downshift, more toward a sort of psychedelical and experimental rock sound. It's kind of they had their kind of high, and it's kind of going sort of down, you know. Heathen Chemistry came out in 2002. Don't Believe the Truth 2005. Dig Out Your Soul 2008.
Okay.
So yeah, 7 albums.
Wow. And have they all been bangers, in your opinion?
The last 3 albums, I mean, Dig Out Your Soul, I've probably only listened to that maybe a handful of times. There's just nothing really on there for me. Don't Believe the Truth came out 2005. Layla's a good song. The Importance of Being Idle, but it's an all right album. It's not that. It's all right. It's not particularly great. The hits are good. Heathen Chemistry, that's got some good hits on it.
But basically, the last 3 albums have been kind of, you know.
Yeah, they're kind of. Apart from the hits, the albums are they're okay.
So you're more into what their first 4 albums? Is that your sweet spot?
Yeah, their first 4. I mean, like the first 2 are maybe 2 of the greatest albums of the 90s. You know, maybe. you know,
No,
extent
no, you can
further
say they
down.
are. You can say they are something. I know people who are into Oasis, so feel free to glare.
Noel wanted to do what the Beatles did and nail down three great albums, and he couldn't quite do that. The first two albums were great, but Be Here Now, the third album,
Yeah,
just wasn't good enough. It just fell short. It fell short because some of the songs on there were they're just too long. They're just too overindulgent, and the you get fatigued. Listen to them. You don't want to keep revisiting them because
right.
it's just too much of a long listen. So that
Oh,
their third album fell a bit short. It was still a number one in the charts. I remember my brother going out and buying it, and it was still a huge seller. The hits on there were great, but as an album on the whole, it fell a bit short. And then the fourth album, Standing on the Shoulder of Giants, that was quite different to anything they've done before. They're under a new manager, and it took a kind of a different kind of route. I really like that album, Standing on the Shoulder of Giants. I think it's an excellent album. Maybe a little bit underrated, but I would say that's my third favorite, definitely.
see, the other thing that the Beatles have that crushes Oasis as far as any type of uh, iconic place in history is that the Beatles also did films and they put their music in film. I mean, it's just no comparison. It's just none.
There isn't. There isn't.
There's none.
No.
You know, as great as the album that's outselling Sgt. Pepper might be, guess what? Beyonce's been outselling major. Well, look, Taylor Swift just eclipsed a bunch of people, and just because she did doesn't mean she's by far her music doesn't touch any of the people she's outsold. Doesn't touch any of them.
They don't even come. I hate to say it, but they don't even come close to the second or third best British bands, because you would say Beatles would be the first, and perhaps maybe as the second best band, British band, you'd probably say Rolling Stones. The third, you'd probably go for Queen. So that's three places taken up already before Oasis is even
Not even
a mention. You know.
Oh my God, yes, and you can keep stacking, bro. I mean,
You could.
because see,
I mean, Iron Maiden were huge. Where would you place them? I mean, they would have to be in the top 10, surely. Maiden.
I don't know if I put them there because they don't occupy. The thing about the groups that you name, they have crossover. Iron Maiden doesn't cross over at all.
No.
Those other bands, everybody listens to that. The Iron Maiden, you got a sector, a niche.
They are a bit of a niche, yeah. They're not for everybody. But
now, if you want to talk about the world and the history of metal, yes. But if you want to talk about the history of music, hell no.
No.
But you know, metal. They're one of the few that are right up there with the elite.
I get the feeling that Iron Maiden are probably bigger in the US than they are in the UK. They're one of those bands I think are bigger in the US.
They're friggin' huge here, yeah.
Yeah, they are.
Or were, or are, or however you want to put it. I'm not particularly an Iron Maiden fan, although there was one album, because I remember hearing the music going, man, this drumming is out cold. And I think it's called, no, that's the AC/DC. It's called Power, something Power? Iron Maiden? Let me check real quick.
I mean, obviously I prefer Oasis over Iron Maiden. You know, I'm Oasis.
Well,
I prefer indie music. you know, and I'll put them a favourite over Queen. But when you compare them to the Rolling Stones, now that's a tougher competition.
Whoa! Wait.
That's not
There's
easy.
no way in hell, Simon, you putting Oasis over Queen. Are you insane?
I can do that. I can.
Well, you know,
for myself, I could say
you can't.
I might prefer Oasis music than Queen's music.
No, you can't. You have all the right in the world, but it's insane. It's just insane.
Yeah.
There is not an Oasis album that can touch Queen 2. Queen 2, there's just not.
Well, the first two albums, definitely maybe, and what's the story, Morning Glory? I mean, they're classics.
Not even close. It's just not close.
I think so. I think those two outshine anything Queen's done.
Oh yeah, you gotta be kidding me, man. Simon, you are hilarious. I know you're joking. I'm going. No, I'm not. Hold on. Let me see. Wait, which?
It's all subjective, isn't it, Mike?
Well, I guess that's what you want to call it. Let me see. Simon, you cracked me up. What's the name of that? Yeah, Power Slave. They got an album called Power Slave, and I was very intrigued because the drumming was like, wow, that's really interesting. So that's one Iron Maiden that I kind of got into, but for the most part, I don't listen to Iron Maiden.
Fight, says Richard. Yeah.
But you know, I mean, I do got some. I mean, I rock hard. I got some AC/DC and Sabbath. I mean, I'm not. You know,
AC/DC's Australian.
But it's still heavy. It's rock, heavy metal.
Well, or is it? Because they immigrated from Scotland, right? So they are technically British.
But it's still a genre. It's still heavy metal.
Yeah. Well, it's rock. I'll say it's rock. I wouldn't say it's metal.
Yeah. Well, I know it's such a because I mean that's heavy, but
it's very bluesy. To be honest with you,
I understand what you're saying. Bluesy. Yeah. Oh. It's cool. It's cool. Back in Black. And then I've got still one. Oh, that one's called Power. What is the one? Power something. No. Here. Oh, what? Who something? Who did you? I forgot the name of that freaking album.
AC/DC.
Who is it called? Who? Wait a minute. I always get it confused with the Who album called Who Are You? But it's an AC/DC's got an album with Who in the title I can't think of. It was one of the biggest albums too. Let me see. I'm trying to. When I try, I'll never find it now. I can't think of the name of the dog. I think it was like their second or third album. It was big. They got a couple of hits. Well, why am I trying to run around here? Let me go on the net.
Let me Google it.
Are you an AC/DC fan?
Yeah, I am. Yeah.
Let me jump up here real quick.
I can Google it for you.
I don't know why I didn't do that in the first place.
Let's have a look. So, High Voltage, you've got TNT, Dirty Deeds Done Cheap, Let There Be Rock, Parage, Highway to Hell. Then you've got Back in Black, For Those About to Rock, We Salute You, Flick the Switch, Fly on the Wall, Blow Up Your Video, The Razor's Edge, Ball Breaker, Stiff Upper Lip, Black Ice, Rock or Bust, and Power Up.
No, none of those. Richard put in who made who, and then he got question mark. It's who something who.
Yeah, because there's no album called that. There's no AC/DC album called Who.
I'm
Who
telling
Made It.
you, I'm telling you, I have it, and I even remember somebody else talking about it. Where, hold on.
You can't just make it up, Michael. It's cheating.
I am serious. What is the, where? Oh, I'm checking. Oh man, when I need to find it, I might have packed it away. Oh wait a minute, I got it. Hold on. Is this it? Yeah, dude, man, it's got some of the big hits on it. And why isn't the discog have this, dude?
Oh, because that's not a studio album. It was a soundtrack.
But it was all. What does it say, Simon? Doesn't that say ACDC?
Yeah, but
Then it's ACDC.
It's a soundtrack.
To what?
It's not a studio album.
To what? A soundtrack to what?
A movie.
What movie?
I don't know. Well, let me get it up here.
Oh, wait a minute. Oh, this is okay. Wait a minute. Okay, Who Made Who is the official soundtrack from the Stephen King film Maximum Overdrive.
Yeah.
All right, but wait a minute. So you're telling me that this is not an AC/DC album?
It's not a studio album, no.
Or where do you think they produced the music?
Or AC/DC.
No. Where do you think they produced the music for this soundtrack?
I don't know.
In a studio.
Right.
This is a studio album.
It's not technically a studio album.
Simon, this is a studio album.
The album is a soundtrack to the Stephen King film Maximum Overdrive.
Yeah, made in the studio.
Everything's made in the studio, isn't it?
No, not everything's made in the studio.
More or less.
No, not people do record outside. This was made. This is a. All right.
But there are other albums like that other artists have done. I mean, Madonna's done one, haven't she? She's done a soundtrack, and there's been others.
I don't know if we're just mincing words here, but this is a studio album. It is, and the other thing is, I mean, these were "You Shook Me All Night Long" is one of their biggest songs that he ever made. That was one of their big hits, and you got "Hell's Bells" on here too.
Yeah, but those are different time periods of their career, aren't they? So it is a compilation.
Okay, I'll give you that. I'll give you that. This
that's not new. It's not necessarily new material, is there? It is basically a compilation. So you can't. I mean, yeah, of course it was made in the studio, but those songs were made in different times in different studios.
Okay.
So you can't have that as a studio album, I'm afraid.
Okay. I listen. I'll give you this one simply because they don't even put it on that list.
I mean, I've got that album. I've got that soundtrack, I should say.
Okay. It's a soundtrack, but a compilation of AC/DC songs. They did a couple of those.
Yeah.
But they're still, well, see, my thing is, you know, studio produced. I mean, it's still studio produced. All the songs are produced in the studio.
Yeah.
In my opinion, that's a studio album. No matter. Even though it's a compilation, they were all the songs, even though they were done in different times, they're all produced in a studio.
Well, yeah, but
I know we're mincing words. Let's get off of it. We're mincing words.
it's why some don't count Magical Mystery Tour as a proper Beatles album. The thing is, I do count that as a Beatles album.
Now we're becoming subjective here, Simon.
But Magical Mystery Tour, it isn't a compilation of different songs from the past. It's new material, isn't it?
Well, that's true.
New material for that time.
That's true.
So I think maybe at the time it wasn't considered a studio album, but I think later on it was considered a studio album because it was hard to kind of say otherwise.
You would also have to put Yellow Submarine under that same umbrella, because it was done specifically for that movie.
Yeah, but if you listen to Yellow Submarine, it is a movie. The movie edit songs of on that album. They're not the original single releases. They're specifically for that film. That's why they're longer tracks.
But would you call Yellow Submarine a studio album?
No, I wouldn't. I'd say that is a soundtrack, definitely.
Okay.
Yeah, but Magical Mystery Tour, I would say, is a studio album, and I believe if you Googled it, it would say it's a studio album now. And Yellow Submarine, not. It's a soundtrack. I think it had 2 different releases, did it not?
Not that I know of. I don't know. I just know that I really kind of dug it because of Peter Max. I love the artwork. The Blue Meanies and such. 4D says, well, Strawberry Fields was released 11 months prior to Magical Mystery Tour.
Strawberry Fields was pretty close to being on the Sgt. Pepper album. It's one of those kind of songs. What if it was on that album, similar to the Beach Boys' Pet Sounds? What if Good Vibrations was on Pet Sounds? Because there's a chance that it was so close it could have been.
But wait a minute. So Strawberry Fields? Which one was that on? Wasn't it?
I think I confused Randy. I think he's lost.
Oh, it's Dead Wax. What's going on?
Randy.
What did you do? How did you confuse him, Simon? What'd you say?
I don't know.
Maybe he has a different. What's your idea of a studio album, Dead Wax?
Yeah, let us know in the comments, and we'll discuss.
Yes.
How you doing?
What's up, buddy? Yeah.
I think a studio album.
No,
it's got to be fresh material. It's got to be material which has come up within a certain time frame. You can't have anything like on previous albums on it.
I will.
It's got to be the next chapter of their discography. You know.
I agree. I do agree. It should be fresh, new songs put together to be an album, as opposed to just putting together songs that you've done before. No, I can get behind that. What with Ramones, Rock and Roll High School? You're still being very cryptic there.
I don't know that too well. I can't really comment on that because I'm not too familiar with with it. So is
Oh,
that
I hear what he's saying. No, Ramones Rock and Roll. Well, Rock and Roll High School was a movie.
right? Okay, all right.
Yeah, so it's hard to make out what he's saying because there's not enough words to really form a sentence.
That's just the bare bones, isn't it? Well, obviously you know it. That was a movie. So well, then it can't be a studio album, can it?
Right. Unless it was already a studio album and they adopted it to a film. I don't know.
Wasn't there a Prince album which was like a soundtrack?
Yeah,
It
Batman.
was. No, it wasn't Batman. It was he did
Oh,
something else.
well, Under a Cherry Moon was one,
I
and
think
then
that was it.
but Purple Rain was the soundtrack to his movie.
Yeah, but that is considered an album, isn't it? Purple Rain.
Yeah, but it's also a soundtrack.
Is it? I didn't know that.
Yeah,
I've always thought that was an album. I didn't realise it was the actual soundtrack.
songs on Purple Rain are in the movie.
Right.
Purple
So
Rain. Purple Rain is the name of the movie.
so if we Google Purple Rain,
Okay.
I think it would tell me it's a studio album. I would have thought it's considered a studio album, but we'll have a look.
I would not doubt it. It probably is, but still doesn't take away from the fact that you know there is music. I don't know, because he was dead on set on making an album anyway, and the song and the album is autobiographical.
Right. Purple Rain is the 6th studio album by American recording artist Prince,
Right?
released on June 25th, 1984 by Warner Brothers Records. It serves as a primary soundtrack for the 1984 semi-autobiographical film of the same name and is the first to be credited to Prince and his backing band, The Revolution. There you go.
Yep.
So some are considered studio albums and some are clearly soundtracks. But they can kind of cross the line and
Well, it was always my understanding that Purple Rain, the movie, well, that the studio album was to be the soundtrack for the movie.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? That was.
I think once it's a studio album, it's a studio album. There's no going back.
No, I mean? Yeah. I hear you. There's no going back. But
even though it is both.
Yeah, but I think his vision was to use it because he always wanted to make a film, and so he made a biographical album so that he can transform that to film. But you're absolutely correct. It was, or initially would be produced as a studio album. Absolutely. No, I can't. I don't have any argument over that one.
It's about the music, guys. Studio Shmudio.
Studio Shmudio.
Studio.
Well, no, that's it. Well, it depends. It wouldn't be. It's important to people like me because I produce music. But like Dale White says, all 9 tracks on the album appear in the movie. I know. It's a fine line.
It is, yeah.
It's a fine line here. Yeah. Studio Shmudio.
But I think I think some are studio albums and they just remain in that bracket, don't they? you know, you can't really dispute it if you look it up on Google and it is telling
yeah,
you.
well, not necessarily. Simon, Google can be wrong.
It gets its sources from so many different places to accumulate this information.
Yeah.
You know, you can't really.
I've put things into Google and gotten the wrong result before. I mean,
Oh yeah, I mean, I know it can happen, and it can give some
not
misinformation.
let's see, Deadwax now. Is it on EP or on LP? What you talking about?
I mean, like the four sources it got for that information about Prince.
All right.
It went to the Prince Vault, right? It went to
right.
Wikipedia, and then it went to a Prince discography website. It went to Discogs. It went to Fandom. So it amalgamates all these different kind of sources,
right?
Then makes its decision on the information it gives you. You know, it's not just it thinks, it does its own research before.
Right.
You know,
I got you.
It tells you. So
yeah.
Anyway, it's what, 11:30 now. I think I'll shut it down. We've been doing it about 3+ hours. So
you know, some dude, I wouldn't have expected it, but I jumped on Stunty's stream. Holy cow, man! I've been streaming all day.
Yeah, soon goes, isn't it? Mind you, I was a bit late starting up, so you know.
Well, with you, we're going on an hour, a little over an hour and a half. That means, I'm sorry, 3.5. That means I've been streaming for 7.5 hours today.
Yeah, well, I probably didn't get going to maybe a good 45 minutes or so into it.
Awesome.
I had a few things to sort out. Cool. So yeah, I'm going to end it here. I don't know if you want to chat for a couple of minutes.
Oh, I'm pretty burned out. It's time for din. I got to eat.
Fair enough then. All right then, Michael. I'll see you in a couple of weeks' time then. Maybe.
Yeah, man. And happy listening.
Yeah, I've got a lot to catch up. I'll let you know what I think about some of it. You know, I will get around to listening to some of it at least in a couple of weeks' time.
And everybody in the chat, good to see you guys.
Yeah, hope you guys doing well. Hope to check in with you soon and see what videos you're putting out there, Richard and Randy and so forth. So until then, guys, bye for now.
Take care, Simon.
You too, mate.